the purpose of this is leaning in on some innovation. We've talked a lot about deeper in Christ and together and growth. And maybe you've been wrestling with and exploring innovation, but a lot of our innovation has just been dusting off old ideas and trying to make them better. But one of the new ways that Young Life has invited us to be innovative and get behind it and find some ways to try something new and then share it with others to try it. One of those has been the Women's Giving Circle. It's an idea of getting people together to really just lean in on some ideas that you as area directors present, and give a chance for some people to hear, wrestle with it, ask questions, listen to a proposal, and then get behind it. But I thought we have two people on the call today who I've asked if they could share a little bit about Women's Giving Circle. One of them is Denise Scherer, who's on our regional board and lives in Billings and Red Lodge, kind of back and forth. And then also Ashley Carbonado, who's on, I think, the National Women's Giving Circle team and was a part of a couple different Women's Giving Circles. She lives in Washington, and I really like Ashley. She was a leader when I was area director, and I got to officiate her wedding, so that's really fun. It's one of my claims to fame. But I'd love for Denise and Ashley to share a little bit. We'll start with you, Denise. Share a little bit about what a Women's Giving Circle is.
Well, it's under the Office of Innovation right now, and I was privileged to be part of the focus team to help get this whole thing started on a national level. And then Jamie Leo was hired and came up with the idea of giving circles. And went to an exercise in Santa Barbara a couple of years ago to demonstrate what it was like. And then this past, we did the first one in Laguna Beach, and Ashley and I were part of that. And I wasn't sure what I was getting myself into, and went in and got so excited I can hardly stand it, because 61 all donated $10,000, and we raised $610,000, just like that. They wanted 50 women, and we ended up with 61. And for me, as Keith Dow knows, I had to have a paradigm shift on supporting local areas versus supporting on a regional and a national level. And it's not a matter of giving up what I'm doing on a local level. It's a matter of adding to what God wants me to do. And we had 5 proposals, and we all had a chance to vote on which proposal would be first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. The one that won it, and it is near and dear to my heart because of what Keith has done to start the Yellowstone Boys and Girls Ranch and his Kids in the System, and we're looking for a name for that. And that proposal got $400,000, and it's a whole new arm, and we can all benefit from that, even right here, even though it was the 4,000 nationwide. And as a result, $400,000 is being matched by the Office of Innovation. So $800,000 is going to be used to start this. And this is Kids in the System, is foster kids, incarcerated kids, sex trafficked kids, all the throwaway kids that a lot of people don't with or they're too trouble. Result, we can do this on a regional level and give to our region with our and it's not taking from your donors, it's enhancing what you're going to be doing in your local areas. So we are going to give that money back through proposals. And what that basically means, I'd like for you to think outside the box, because that's the, as you know, Montana and Wyoming and Washington, let's face it, across the nation is just hard to fund sometimes. And we get that. So what Lee and I and Keith Dow has done over the course of several years is to think outside the box and try to get donors from outside of our areas. So if you know women from outside of our areas or whatever that would like to be part of this and be in something that's so exciting and innovative, and to be able to fund your areas in different and exciting ways, then we invite you to do that. Does that make sense? 2/3 of wealth by 2030 will be held and controlled by women. It's an untapped resource. And that's what we, for Women Who Love Young Life, the national part, is starting to target. And there's no reason why we can't do that on a regional and a local level.
That's awesome, Denise. And I'm kind of giddy. I've started sweating when I see that Jamie Lasea is on our call.
I invited her. Just got off the phone with her.
Hi, Jamie.
Hi. Jamie's our wonderful leader for Love Young Life.
It's so great to be with you guys and see your faces. I'm sorry I didn't give a lot of heads up that I could actually jump on here. I just talked with Denise right before the call, but she's sharing her passion about it marvelously. So I'm happy to be with you.
Yeah, thankful. Denise texted me that she might invite you, and then when I saw you pop up on there, I thought, wow, things got real here.
Here we
got
are.
real in the Mountain West.
And Susan Crenshaw is praying for us right now.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, and just to add to what Denise said, that what we're looking at doing is giving an opportunity. We wanted to first get just 20 minutes with you all just to share the idea. But what we're going to do, there's two parts to it. I shared this with the former inland northwest side of our region, that there's two things we want. One is we want to hear from you innovative ideas across the region of what you're wanting to do, what you're wanting to see happen, maybe some things you're trying now to put these proposals together. And we'll help with it. There'll be some support. So if you just feel like, I'm not really good at putting proposals together, that there'll be some teamwork and synergy on that. And that also to think of women that could be invited to be a part of an event like this. I know for the national event, there was $10,000 that each woman who brought it all together in a pot. And it was that when things were voted on and decided, that it was split between a number of different innovations. The first one had the highest amount, and then it just went from there. And there were some incredible starts to ministry because of that meeting of these women that put that together. We're not going to ask in this region for $10,000. I know you can all take a collective sigh, but something closer to the 5,000 amount is what we're looking at that will be given toward the areas. And there's some innovations you might come up with that would be teaming up with other areas. Maybe there's some work that hasn't been done with, for example, one thing that's being just started is Young Lives for Dads, the dads of the babies. That's starting in Tri-Cities, but that'd be great to team up together. Maybe you hear an idea that is presented that another area goes, ooh, I want in on that. There might be some things that are happening across our Mountain West region with Native American tribes. That's happening in Yakima, it's happening in Lewiston, in Lapwai, might be happening other places. But just the idea and the fact that some of you have shared innovative ideas, there might be opportunities for synergy for a couple areas to work together on it. But all that being said, I thought I'd ask, Ashley's on the call as well, Ashley Carbonado. You want to say hi, Ashley? Can you?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay.
Hi, guys.
Yeah, and she's at work, and so bless your soul for doing that. But what kind of women, in your opinion, and Jamie and Denise, you can chime in as well, what kind of women would be good to invite to something like this? Because I think one of those things, if I could just call it out in the room, that we're like, hey, I got these people in my area, but I'm just happy they give to my area. The thought of getting them together with other women, this sounds dangerous and risky.
So yeah, I have had, hi everybody. I have had the privilege of being a part of multiple giving circles now, and I totally resonate with, I mean, if we're honest, that kind of scarcity mentality, that there's a certain amount of money that every area has and has to raise. And when you throw in another fundraiser, you're thinking you're going to draw from that same pot and it's going to pull away. But really, we're seeing that the opposite is happening. And as women are invited in, which these giving circles, this is happening as an organic movement across the country, truly. And Young Life is just jumping in because women want to be invited. And we're seeing that as they're invited into this opportunity, there isn't less that is given, there's actually more. They're becoming more engaged. And so when I threw the Seattle area giving circle, it was a lower price point. We were targeting, asked each woman to bring $100. And the women that we were inviting and looking at were lapsed donors, women who had previously maybe never been invited to have a say financially in their household or in the mission at large. Women who had had a connection with Young Life previously, maybe they were a parent of a Young Life kid, they were previously on committee, now they're not. I mean, as a mission, a giving circle is really an opportunity for a different on-ramp for donors. So we're not looking to pull from the same pot. It's a new pot. Although there is going to be some overlap, but like I said, the engagement that we're seeing across the board, and even just in my own giving circle experience in Seattle, people are leaning in further. And that's both with money, yes, but also with their time and their talent, and they're wanting to get involved in these new areas, especially, you know, as you guys are looking at innovation, you're looking at new things and you don't know what kind of impact that's going to have on their heartstrings. Like that, foster kids in the system, they're like, oh gosh, Young Life is doing something for that. I want to get involved. Count me in. So I'm going to give you my resources, but I'm also going to give up my time. So we're sort of seeing that as a counter to the scarcity. Like actually the opposite is happening, and more people are giving more and getting more involved. I just said more a lot.
Yeah. Thank you, Ashley. We only have just a few minutes to talk, but Jamie or Denise, if you just share just a little snippet, what did you see happen in the room when the women got together and listened to the proposals of the innovations that were presented? What kind of synergy happened, and what sort of, what did you observe about the women who came in? Was it a blessing for them? Was it a burden for them? Just to share on that.
Jamie, you go ahead.
Yeah, I'd use two words. I'd say inspired and honored. And so if women do have a capacity and an interest and a passion and they love the mission, when you put them in a room together and let them connect around Christ and around one another, hear this invitation and then hear inspiring ideas that they can actually influence, it's really honoring to them. All of a sudden they feel like a team member rather than a donor that writes a check. And that's what we're trying to do in these times, kind of connect women with their involvement in their influence and bring them in closer. And so this kind of an event, when you think of down the road and offering names or getting women who are connected with other women and letting that kind of multiply, just letting them do all their feel-good stuff together, it's gonna bless all the ministries around it. And this is kind of a one and done kind of thing, right? We're not signing them up for recurring gifts. We're actually wanting them to have as great of an engaging time together, influence something together, and then actually take that energy and come back into their homes and do more of that where they live is the ideal thing. Right. That's how
it was electrifying to me and overwhelming to me. And I don't think that Jamie and Ashley and their team could have done a better job in presenting everything that weekend.
Right. Yeah. And I know Ken Tankersley, who oversees innovation, he worked really hard to taking these ideas and making them really presented well. Like there was everyone had a handout that they got to look through and they got to ask questions. They actually got to interview, as I understand it, a person who would be able to present and answer questions before anyone, started to get to the voting, and everyone got to share. And I think that was really meaningful just to see the difference. So that's going to be our areas presenting ideas. They'll be narrowed down to a moderate sized field. It might be 6, it might be 7 ideas that are presented. But really that's where it comes in is for you. this is not like a regional budget stacking sort of thing. Like this is for Jeff's mileage for driving around the region, or for Keith's new Bluetooth budget, his new gadgets and gizmos budget. This is for you as areas to invite women to come together and vote on and get behind and invest and celebrate and pray for and become leaning in prayers and supporters, investors in ideas that you want to see happen. And so this is really where you come in. We want to hear what you got. Jamie, what were you gonna say?
Just the last thing is that as we go and the team up in around the areas, the women come together, we have some tools that will make your proposal and your ideas kind of simple. It'll be sent to you. It's a form with some questions where you can kind of phrase what they'll be looking for, and then they'll gather that. So those tools are kind of rolling out in this next month, plenty of time as you guys look to summer. So just so you know, those things will kind of come hopefully as easily user-friendly as possible, so you can just kind of share back your vision, and then the women can take that and make their decisions.
Right. Oh, that's great. We want this to be helpful, not for you to learn to be a rocket surgeon.
Yes.
You're like, I don't know how to make a proposal. Like,
Yeah.
Start with ideas, and then we'll start building upon it and get behind these and help present them well. And we're looking at the date of August 13th, overnight, August 13th and 14th in North Idaho. We wanted to find a place that has a draw to it, and Coeur d'Alene has a really strong draw, especially in the summer. August is really popular. It's actually, we found that like the Coeur d'Alene Resort, where we wanted to have it, just is so packed out during that time. It's such a draw to be there. We want people from all across the region. And again, as someone mentioned earlier, I think it was Denise, or even people outside the region that you know, to come. Whether it's a lapsed donor, a former committee person, this could be someone who currently is in your area that is just a generous person. But it's not like Keith and I are going to be the ones who bring everyone. Like, this is an opportunity for folks to come together and come back to your area with a greater passion. And it might be the innovation that you came up with. It might be one that will bless your area or one next door. But this is where we all need to work together to invite people to it. So we're giving you plenty of time. We wanted to start the process to get you thinking of innovative ideas, and start thinking of women that could just float this out. And maybe a way to get someone who is a really generous person in the community. Maybe you see their name on the wall of the YMCA, that they're a supporter, but you've never got them engaged with Young Life. That this might be a way to get someone in the door. Or it could be someone who's just given for a long time, and they give to like 10 organizations, but could really lean in with us, with you, and with our whole region. So that's basically what we're inviting you to consider. So just a couple questions that you might have before we wrap this up.
Hey, Jeff, one more thing to add. So when you guys are thinking of the proposal ideas, like number wise, you should be looking at like $100,000 to $125,000 proposals. Like, think of multiple area funding, student staff, a lot of different things. So that's kind of what, ballpark wise, when you're thinking that proposal, that's the number you should be thinking of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thanks, Keith.
Jeff, are you going to be running any sort of report or something on lapsed donors, or something like that through Wild Connect, and then you could just send us like, hey, this might be somebody you could think about asking?
That's a great question. That's totally something we can do. We can get Kai Griffin and the development department leaning in with us and help provide some of those names for zip codes and communities, and perhaps suggest a few. Hey, here's 5 people we would suggest in each area. Keith, do you think we could do that?
Yeah, we can definitely do that.
Okay. Yeah, we can suggest them to you. You might laugh at us and say, actually, that's my mother-in-law. Please, like, no.
And I don't know the structure, and probably Denise, maybe we'll have some conversation as we kind of turn the corner after the new year, but you'll probably have the most success women donors inviting women donors. So if you have a couple of go-getters, women who are connected, influential, when they want to do something, other women want to do it, those are the ones who want to get in early to the vision and welcome them in, and maybe even give them how this event will go, and then get them inviting their friends. And you can work with that person, but women inviting women is going to be your best bet.
Yeah. There's two more things I want to share. One of them is that we will send you a couple videos to share. One of them is the one that was done, the one that Jamie, that you and the team put on in California. And then Ashley sent me a video that was made of the Giving Circle in Seattle. So you can have a couple different examples, because sometimes people want to see, what is this? What does it look like? We think this is going to be an incredible event of women getting together, building relationships. We had 4 or 5 people from our region, from Mountain West, who went to the one in California. One lives in North Idaho, and Denise, you were one. There was a few others that are really excited about this. So there's going to be a synergy in the room that we really think that people who go from your area are going to come back excited, just a breath of fresh air to you. And then second, this is kind of crazy, but not only is the Women's Giving Circle a chance to hear your innovative ideas, but also we had a divisional meeting 2 weeks ago in Portland that Lindsay Patchell has also asked for you as areas to bring forth your innovative ideas, and that Lindsay and the Northwest Division wants to get behind innovative ideas as well. So we actually have 2 different opportunities for your ideas to get funding and get people behind it, praying and matching some areas that want to do the same thing. So if anything that I could say is that the season of innovation has kicked off. You felt like that was the cousin of Young Life Forward that wasn't getting the attention. Right now it is. 2020 is going to be a year of innovation. So share your ideas. So
Jeff, real quick, if we bring all these women together, or when we bring all these women together, can they bring their husbands and you do something with the guys on the side, like a
yes, thank you for bringing that up, Denise. That's Keith and I have been talking about this as well, because I kind of feel like I'm not invited to this thing. I'm like helping orchestrate a party that I can't even go to. So in one of the other ideas in North Idaho is during the same time that whether husbands or other folks could come to be there as well, that we could do golf, we could hang out in the Lake Coeur d'Alene, Hayden Lake, and do some outings and have a time with the husbands that want to come. And then the next day, so the Women's Giving Circle would start on Thursday evening. It'd be overnight, and then Friday they would vote and decide. And then Friday evening, we would do a regional event, kind of what the Inland Northwest has done is the art and wine auction, where we would have an awesome dinner event in Coeur d'Alene, and we would celebrate and listen to what the Women's Giving Circle came up with. They would present what they voted on and how much funding is going to go to these innovative ideas. It would accumulate in a banquet, a dinner together, and a live auction, and a celebration of sharing vision for the whole region. So we want to build this up to be an awesome event and let everyone hear what was decided. There might be women and people that come to the banquet on Friday night that were not a part of the Women's Giving Circle. We hope for maybe 150 people. But I think there could be some serious just synergy and cheering and excitement around hearing what was decided at that event. So it'll be an immediate reception of it. Ashley, do you have a thought on that? And Denise, you have a thought on that? We will need to wrap this up.
Okay, Jeff, put me down as the first person to sign up for it. And I want everyone to understand that even though I'm same amount or more locally.
Okay. Somebody was moving stuff around, but what I heard you say, Denise, is even though I'm going to this and giving to this, I'm still going to give locally. So Carson got a little half smile there.
Exactly.
Shane, I saw that smile, Shane. And Jess.
Teresa, too.
What I was going to say is, as you guys go out and start to invite, part of innovation, in order to sell this, is going to be vision. And like Jamie said, getting those initial go-getters, kind of think of your core influencers, and they don't have to be currently giving to your area, but cast the vision to them. Let them see the kind of impact that this can make, because they're going to be your best sellers. It's like when you go to a store and you find something good and you go home and you automatically tell 8 of your friends, or whatever that statistic is. You're looking to sell that person on how this is going to make an impact and how they get to be a part of something new. Like, this is new. This is not something the mission has done historically. Yes, there's golf tournaments. Yes, there's poker tournaments and all kinds of events for men, but this one is new and created just for women and is really leaning into their specific gifts, which is awesome. Like, we're creating a whole new table for just them. So we're seeing them, they're going to feel invited and welcomed. And that's really going to be your pitch as they go out then and invite their people.
And it's incredible the relationships that you start to establish with other women across the region or across the nation as we came together in Laguna Beach. And the friendships that come out of that are just priceless and incredible.
And it's honestly one of the things that's really fun about our regions coming together. Keith and I were talking about, and a lot of you have been asking, how is together really better? I mean, Montana, North Wyoming, you guys are having a really good time together. Inland Northwest, we were kicking it live. We were having a great time. And as we all come together, this was one of the first things that we thought about is this is a way that we could actually do things that we couldn't do alone. I don't think a women's giving circle would happen just with the Inland Northwest, but with Denise and the kind of passion she has, and the kind of women that are in your region, we feel like it was just enough to say, this is an example of how that we can benefit areas big time. So anyways, that's what I got. Thank you for
coming on. Excuse me, I thank Jamie for coming on. And I also thank Jamie for these ideas that she has brought forth that are just groundbreaking. Thank you, Jamie.
Yeah, Jamie, thank you.
Yeah.
I feel honored that you joined the Mountain West region for this call this morning. Truly an honor. Thank you.
It's great.
Denise and Ashley, thank you for sharing. And Ashley, I heard that you have it on your calendar that you want to come join us in Coeur d'Alene. Is that right?
It's penciled in. I couldn't spell it on my calendar, but I'm learning.
Pencil. You're going to mail me that book about when women give, and I'm going to mail you a pen so you can pen it in and not pencil it.
It's already through.
Yeah. Thank you all for joining the call.
Honestly, stay on, please. Please, please.
Hey, I just wanted to say this was awesome, and I'm really excited to learn more about it.
Yeah, good. This is just the start. We just want to do a kickoff intro before the end of the year.
Great idea. Okay, see you guys. Bless you.
All right. Bye, Claire. Bye, Theresa.
Thank you. Bye.
Yep.